underneath here. You see that here the grade is lowered. I actually had to take this off to access to really get in there, but I don't know if you can see in there. There's an impeller at the end. We hold the light here. You can kind of see there's a little impeller at the end of there, so the drive shaft and everything. Hard to see, but to get in there, there was a fishing rope that was like completely tied around the drive shaft, so that's possibly why it was binding and shutting down. So let's just say that that was taken out. On the other side, the oil looked a lot better, but there was still a bit of brown oil in there, but there was no clumps. But there wasn't as much oil as this one, so that's weird. So maybe that was leaking oil, and which is not good, obviously, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, they seem good. There's no corrosion inside, so it looks, I don't know, they look okay. I don't think they need to be changed, but that's that. So now moving up. So yeah, once the oil finishes draining out, now there's just teeny little drops, but I'll clean, you know, pretty much done. Once I get the gasket on these things, I'll put it all back together, fill it up with the new oil, which is over there, and then I'll, yeah, that'll be that. Moving up to here. Yeah, so no hood, that's good. For them to work. I started working on one of the engines. So this one runs decent, but for now I'm going to start with the one that was pretty fucked up. So that's the intake. Carburetors are under there. That's the last thing I'm going to do. But I was curious and I wanted to know what was underneath the heads. So I took the head off. I wanted to get to the cylinders, and as you can see, get the light. Okay. As you can see, cylinders are, well, it's hard to see, but there's a couple of scarring. Means there was detonation at one point, but that doesn't really matter. There's no metal pieces. There's no like fragments. The cylinder walls are perfectly smooth. I moved the cylinders up and down. There's no binding in the engine. What is fucked up though is tons of corrosion in the cooling jackets, which are like these things that are like around the head. So those are where that's where like the water passes. So part of the head is over here. So yeah, as you can see, this is like a spark plug seal. I dropped one in the boat, but I have new ones anyway. I'm gonna put brand new ones with all new gaskets around the heads, all new gaskets around there, the new gasket around this thing. But what I'm gonna do is and there's all this fucking jello shit. I don't know what the fuck that is, but anyway. So what I'm gonna do is just to clean this, I'm gonna take all the gaskets off, strip it down to metal. I'm gonna soak this in a can of degreaser or some shit. I think a spray 9 is good. I'm gonna put in like a container, clean that one. Valve cover, same thing. I'm gonna clean this. I'm gonna clean all the water ports. It's like white powder and like weird corrosion stuff or whatever. Just needs to be cleaned. I'm gonna do the best I can to clean that. So wherever the water goes will be nice and clean, no blockages, no weird things flowing. And that's where I'm at right now. All the bolts came out fairly easy except for one, which was like basically near where this shit was. So I guess that kind of corroded the bolt. I thought it was gonna break, but it didn't. I took my time. I sprayed a bunch of this shit. Loosen, tighten, sprayed. Yeah. Then I got it out. Almost broke though, but that was close. So that worked. But yeah, now it's, I guess it's a good thing. Pretty happy. Engine looks good, man. So that's it. You know, all the hoses have been changed. You could tell because the stock is the gray lines. They've all been changed to like automotive or the newer style black ones or whatever. That's fine. So yeah, next step is just reinstall this, get it all cleaned. Probably gonna shoot some lube in the cylinders just because it's been a while. It's been sitting. It'll just smoke when I start it, but at least it'll be lubricated. Yeah, and then after that, I'm going to check a bunch of things in there. Drive shaft, everything looks okay. I already greased these. So the boot is like full of the XPS, the synthetic grease. These are tight. There's a way you can kind of move these, but I don't think these were leaking any, so I don't want to mess with that. Oh yeah, I have these you take off, 2 bolts here, you pull it off, and there's like some kind of valve in there you can clean and just to check to see if it's not stuck or whatever. So yeah, there's that. And like I said, the last thing I'm going to do is take all this off, including the carburetors. There's 2 of them under here. There's 2 of them under this. There's 4 carburetors total. I'm going to rebuild them with this shit over here. All my parts and stuff. So, carb rebuild kits over here, which is got the boat jack stand with the jack. I have to lift the boat to put it on an angle so that the oil drains out in the back. But anyway, it's done. I got all kinds of thread sealers. This is the oil check valve, just in case. It's cheap, whatever. So it's a good change. Filters. This is the fuel magnet. So I got to take out basically where the fuel tank. There's like a little thing that goes out of it. It's all the way in the back though, but use the fuel filters. This is gonna make the fuel gauge work. The guy actually, I bought this from Jet Ski Plus. The guy gave it to me for free. So that's good. These are extra gaskets. I don't know, I think I bought another set. This was something I had a while ago, but new spark plugs, might as well change them, it's cheap. These are the gaskets for those rave valves that I'm gonna take off, so at least I'll have new ones. This is the gasket set for the other head. A couple new bolts, because I remember there was 1 or 2, I think that had stripped or something, or they were stripped already in the intake on the other engine. So I think I got 2 just in case. So replace the ones that are stripped. And these are the rebuild kits. So I even bought a new seat, little gaskets, needle seat, like the weights is like weighted. So this is what controls like the fuel flow and all that shit. And you have all like the diaphragm, the gaskets, and the super important little screen thing. I don't know what it is. Somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. This thing here. This usually gets clogged up with all kinds of grime and whatever. I guess maybe that jello stuff. Maybe they're all clogged up. And what that does, this is basically a filter that's inside the carburetor for the fuel. So the fuel that passes through the carburetor, before it gets into the carburetor, passes through. This is gunked up, fuel doesn't flow. And then you have like a lean situation, and then the engine could possibly detonate, which is what I was thinking originally, which is what happened, which is why I think maybe there's a couple of spots over here, but like, you know, it's not like it's pretty smooth, or it's not dented or anything. There's just, I could just feel I'll probably sand it down with some sandpaper or some shit. But other than that, like, you can see it moves down, the other one moves up. It moves good, nothing binding, you know, so. I'll put it back to where it was, but yeah, that's fine. So anyway, that's the status report. Calling it quits right now, kind of tired, so tomorrow's another day. Phone's all dusty. Yeah, I'll let you know what happens then. All right. Ciao. Oh yeah, that's the fuel baffle. You gotta pull all that out. A couple of hose clamps, pull it out, and there's like a shaft that comes out, and that magnet that I have over there, I'll basically replace that's in the shaft, and the magnet is what it uses to read the fuel level. It basically floats. So the magnet in there either broke, or it's at the bottom, it's not floating anymore, or there's no magnetism left. Whatever, I'm just gonna change it, and that's it. And that should fix the fuel gauge, which is useful when you're in the middle of the water and you want to know how much fuel you have left. Or you could just look at the tank here, but I thought we were full, but I guess we only have. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, one of the last things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check all these wires, the ones that are going to this, all the distributors, and this stupid switch over here. We're gonna see, like, I'm gonna follow the ones everywhere to see if any of the grounds are corroded and whatever, all that stuff. Last thing, Okay, 10-minute video. My God, this is so long. This is new battery. The new battery here. It's an AGM battery. Got double two type of posts. So I'm just gonna put my connections on here with a brand new nut, and that's it. It's gonna be awesome. No problems with that. It's a marine battery, so it doesn't matter if there's like vibrations or whatever. Maybe that was the problem because we're using car batteries, which are not really supposed to use for fucking boats, but whatever. And when everything's done, everything's all finished, I'm going to do a compression test to see what the engine give. You basically screw the fitting into the spark plug hole, you start the engine without spark plugs, so the pistons are moving up and down, and then you get a reading. Should be around 150. If it's at 150 or 140, it means the engines are officially good, which is fucking amazing. But I think at least this one I am pretty sure it's all good. But yep, so that's it. Later.